What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Action Sunday. And as advertised in my little community post, this week I'm going to look at Face Off. Yes, I'm going to come out opening up with a little disclaimers that I thought I had reviewed this movie in the past, but now it came screaming back to me the other day is that I had filmed this movie many moons ago. This episode, I was originally gonna do this for like my third or fourth episode, and of course around that time, if you guys remember this, around that time I was going back and forth between my original studio and the crow's nest at my parents' house, because due to weather conditions. Then there was also some other stuff that happened. So yeah, for some reason it got tough for time. Never happened. And unfortunately, the footage is somewhere lost in the zeitgeist. But anyway, that was then. Here's now. But I'm going to talk about it because the movie's still fresh in my mind, and of course, and still a memorable movie to this day, in my opinion. Because what can I say about the premise of Face Off? It's a clever one, okay? So, and besides the fact that you got two great actors get top billing on this poster, you got John Travolta and you got Nicolas Cage. Two guys who, my goodness, they did a fantastic job in this movie. You got one who plays an FBI agent, one who plays a criminal mastermind, and then what happens? Well, let's see. The criminal mastermind gets knocked out. FBI finds out there's a bomb planted somewhere in the city of Los Angeles, and the only way one who can talk is, of course, the Castor Troy's brother, who's in a prison somewhere in an undisclosed location. And so, what do? They I call it a special doctor or surgeon kind of thing. And they say, oh, we have more advanced technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your face off and replace it with his. That way you guys can go undercover. So I'd say, really clever premise. I really like that. But then, of course, it gets a little confusing. Now you got Agent Sean Archer, John Travolta now, who's now Nicolas Cage. And then now vice versa. Well, we don't get to that until you watch the movie. So again, I don't want to give too much of the plot. If anybody's never seen Face Off ever, but what happens is somehow they end up swapping faces. So now Castor Troy's now Sean Archer. Now he's taking credit for all this good stuff. Now he's kind of like, okay, now he's targeting his family and all this crazy shit. It gets really crazy. But I will admit, it's a really cool idea that has some legs. John Woo did a fantastic job. I mean, between this, Broken Arrow, and Mission Impossible 2, I don't know, take your pick. I've said in the past, Mission Impossible 2, not his best work, but I felt like it was John Woo's best crowning achievement. Spoilers ahead, I've not seen Hard Boiled, but I know that's considered one of his best works that he's ever done. So I will get to that eventually, okay? If anyone wants me to, please send it my way, all right? But anyway, back to the movie. Man, like I said, Travolta and Nicolas Cage really do a fantastic job, of course, by doing a good job. Travolta, great. He can take a character and buy it. But as for Nicolas Cage, holy shit, it's Nicolas Cage just being crazy Nick Cage. Holy shit. If anybody, there's a scene literally during the opening credits, he's disguised as a priest. He looks absolutely ridiculous. He's singing along to a bit of a gospel choir. And of course, he's kind of getting a little handsy with a female choir member. I'm like, my God, this guy is fucking crazy. But he gets more insane and unhinged as the movie goes on. And I think that was pretty good. To keep it layered, you could feel the intensity, and you could just cut it with a knife between these two characters that can't absolutely stand each other. Or I would say one guy that just doesn't want to see, that wants to see this guy dead, or he wants to put him behind fucking bars, kind of thing. So yeah, at this point you're you're rooting for Archer, who's John Travolta with Nicolas Cage's face trying to get Nicolas Cage back, who's essentially Nicolas Cage with John Travolta's face, if that makes sense. Okay, I hate to, if I'm confusing everyone, I'm sorry, okay? I don't want to confuse everyone too much, but the more that you watch this movie, it gets really great. When it comes to the action sequences, I feel like as the movie progresses, like does get pretty good. Like there's some guns, there's a couple of chases, there's a gun shootout, there's a tense moment in a church where Sean Archer's teenage daughter shows up, and she's finally realized what the hell is going on, and you can tell like she's hesitant. She doesn't want to shoot the wrong person, kind of thing. This is the only thing I'm gonna spoil is that, and you can tell like she's struggling mentally. She's like I don't know. And she doesn't know who to believe. It's like, is this real, kind of thing, and you can just see it, and it's really good. But again, like, beside that, like, the stunt work is great. The cast is fantastic. I mean, Joan Allen did a pretty good job playing Archer's wife. My goodness, Nick Kasevitz, that's it. He plays the doctor, surgeon expert kind of thing. He's in there. And of course, there's a whole lot of like familiar names that you would never expect to see in this movie. But by the end, and it's like you get a bit of a happy ending. There's more layers and depth to both these characters and their story arcs and what their ultimate end game is. But in the end, like you have to see for yourself. It's like, okay, was this mission a success? Is Sean Archer one of the best FBI agents out there? Is Casper Troy finally fucking dead and in the ground hoot kind of thing? Because there was there's a really great moment that has you wondering, like, oh my god, is this for real? It's like that's it. That's how it's gonna happen. But is he who he is now? Does he have his face back? You again. I'm gonna leave it at that. You see it for yourself, and you tell me what you believe. All right. But overall, it's for a '90s flick and for John Woo's style of directing and all this. It's a damn fine good job. It made good money. The fact that this is one of the few movies that he's made where that didn't have a lot of studio involvement in, which of course, thank the Lord above. Okay, this is what happens. Okay, when the studio doesn't get too involved by yelling in your ear to do this or do that, you end up getting a pretty much good. A good, fine blockbuster, and this is what you got. The results speak for itself. Face Off became a hit. I mean, to me, I feel like it's still some of the underlying themes still ring true today. Good stuff all around. Yeah, both these guys are still acting to this day. I mean, again, there's a lot that you can just take in if you just get and see this movie. I mean, again, to me, I feel like this is John Woo's best work, but again, till I see Hardboiled, then may I'll review, may rank them. All right. But anyway, bottom line, I'm gonna give Face Off. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I was gonna give it a solid 7. I'm like, you know what, 7.5. It's better than what I expected. All right. So that does it for this week. Let me know what you think. Thumbs this video. Subscribe to my channel and stick here for some more awesome and exciting videos.